Three men cornered the waitress. Then a child said, "Daddy, can we help her?" His father rose from the booth, and everyone froze. She'd just been saved by a mafia boss. And because his son asked, she was now under his protection forever. Emma Martinez wiped down the counter for the third time that hour. The chrome gleamed under the fluorescent lights of Rosie's diner, empty except for a father and son in booth 7. It was 11:47 p.m. 13 minutes until her shift ended. She glanced at the pair. The boy, maybe 6 years old, colored quietly while his father read a newspaper. Strange time for a kid to be awake, but Emma had learned not to judge. Single parents worked odd schedules. She knew that better than anyone. The bell above the door chimed. Three men stumbled inside, reeking of whiskey and trouble. Emma's stomach tightened. She recognized the type, loud, entitled, looking for someone weaker to push around. Well, the tallest one said, his words slurred. Pretty little thing working all alone. Emma forced a professional smile. Kitchen's closed, but I can get you coffee. We don't want coffee, sweetheart. He leaned across the counter, invading her space. His breath made her eyes water. We want company. I'm working. Emma stepped back. There's a bar 2 blocks down. We like it here. The second man moved to block the exit. The third one laughed, a wet, ugly sound. Emma's hand found the phone in her apron pocket. Her fingers shook as she tried to unlock it. Hey now. The tall one grabbed her wrist. That's rude. We're being friendly. Let go. Emma's voice came out smaller than she wanted. Make me. Time slowed. Emma saw her phone clatter to the floor. Saw the man's grip tighten. Saw his friends moving closer, trapping her behind the counter. Then a small voice cut through the panic. Daddy, can we help her? The diner went dead silent. Emma looked toward booth 7. The little boy had stopped coloring. His wide brown eyes were fixed on her, full of innocent concern. The father slowly folded his newspaper. He stood, and the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. The man was tall, maybe 6'2", with dark hair swept back from a sharp-featured face. He wore an expensive black suit that fit like it was tailored yesterday. But it wasn't his clothes that made Emma's breath catch. It was his eyes. Cold, calculating, absolutely merciless. Gentlemen, he said quietly. His voice was silk over steel. You're frightening my son. The tall drunk still had Emma's wrist. He sneered. Mind your business, suit. We're just... He didn't finish the sentence. The father moved so fast Emma almost missed it. One moment, he was 10 feet away. The next, he had the drunk's arm bent at an impossible angle, forcing him to his knees. You were just leaving, the father said. Still quiet. Still calm. Weren't you? Jesus, okay. The man's bravado shattered. Let go. The father released him with a slight push. The drunk scrambled backward, cradling his arm. You're dead, one of the friends snarled, trying to sound tough. You know who we work for? You just made a huge... I know exactly who you work for. The father adjusted his cufflinks. Johnny Falcone, third-rate enforcer for the Moretti crew. You run their meth distribution in the East District. He tilted his head. Tell me, does Tommy Moretti know his men harass waitresses in public diners? I imagine he'd be displeased. The color drained from the man's face. How do you...
Leave. Now.
They ran. Literally ran, stumbling over themselves to get through the door. The bell chimed cheerfully as they fled into the night. Emma stood frozen, her heart hammering. She looked at the father, then at the little boy watching from the booth with those big, earnest eyes. Thank you, she managed. I don't. Thank you. The father's expression softened slightly. He glanced at his son, then back to Emma. You're safe now. My son asked me to help, so I did. I'm Luca, the boy announced proudly. That's my daddy. He's really strong. Despite everything, Emma almost smiled. I can see that. What's your name? Luca asked. Emma. That's pretty. Daddy, isn't it pretty? The father's mouth twitched. Not quite a smile, but close. Very pretty, he extended a hand. Adrian Russo. Emma shook it. His grip was firm, controlled. Emma Martinez. Something flickered in Adrian's eyes. Recognition? Calculation? It vanished too quickly to read. You work here often? He asked. 5 nights a week. I'm saving up for... Emma stopped. Why was she telling him this?
Sorry.
You probably need to get home. It's late for Luca. We're night owls, Adrian said. He pulled out a business card, thick, expensive cardstock with embossed lettering.
Keep this.
If anyone bothers you again, call that number. Emma looked at the card. It had only a phone number. No name, no company, nothing else. I don't understand. Those men will tell their friends what happened. Some might be stupid enough to try again. Adrian's voice went cold again. I want you to be safe. Why? The question escaped before Emma could stop it. Why would you care about a waitress you just met? Adrian looked at Luca, who was gathering his crayons. Because my son has a good heart. He saw someone who needed help, and he asked me to help. I don't ignore my son's request. He placed 3 crisp $100 bills on the counter. That's way too much, Emma protested. For the coffee we didn't drink. And the peace of mind. Adrian put his hand on Luca's shoulder. Come on, son. Let's go home. Bye, Emma. Luca waved enthusiastically. Bye, Luca. They walked to the door. A black Mercedes waited outside, engine purring, driver alert behind the wheel. Emma stared at the card in her hand, then at the money, then at the expensive car, pulling away from the curb. Who was Adrian Russo? Her phone buzzed. A text from her manager. Police called. Said there was an incident at the diner? You okay? Emma frowned. The police? But no one had called them. Unless. She looked at the card again. At the unmarked number. And she realized the men who ran away hadn't just been scared. They'd been terrified. Emma Martinez had just been saved by someone very powerful. Someone whose name alone made criminals flee. She should feel relieved. Instead, she felt like she'd just stepped onto a stage she didn't understand, in a play whose rules she didn't know. Outside, the Mercedes disappeared into the Chicago night. Emma tucked the card into her pocket. She had a feeling she'd be seeing Adrian Russo again, whether she wanted to or not. Emma's phone wouldn't stop ringing. She stared at it through bleary eyes, having gotten maybe 3 hours of sleep. The screen showed her manager's name for the 5th time since 7 a.m. Hello. Emma, thank God. Don't come to work today. Emma sat up, suddenly alert.
What? Why?
There are reporters outside. Like a dozen of them. And the families of those guys from last night, they're claiming you started the whole thing. They filed assault charges. The room tilted. They're charging me? No, they're charging the guy who helped you. But they're saying you seduced their sons, caused a fight, put them in danger. Emma, it's a mess. One of them has a broken arm. They're saying this Adrian Russo guy attacked them unprovoked. Emma's mouth went dry. That's not what happened. I know. I believe you. But their lawyer's already talking to the press, and her manager paused. Emma, who is Adrian Russo? These reporters keep asking me about him. They seem scared. I don't know. He was just having coffee with his son. That was a lie. Men who made criminals flee in terror weren't just anything. Well, someone knows him. The police came by this morning asking questions. Took the security footage, another pause. Emma, be careful. Whatever this is, it's bigger than a diner fight. Emma hung up and turned on the TV. Her face was on the news. The waitress at the center of last night's violent altercation, the reporter said. Emma's employee photo from the diner's website filled the screen. Sources say Emma Martinez may have connections to organized crime figures. The 3 victims, all with families and steady employment, claim they were merely asking for service when they were brutally attacked. Victims? Emma shouted at the TV. They grabbed me. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Turn it off. Don't read the comments. AR, Adrian Russo. Somehow, he had her number now. Emma ignored his advice and opened social media. The comments were vicious. Gold digger probably called her mob boyfriend. Those poor men were just getting coffee. She's trying to get a payday. Waitress plays victim. Ruins 3 lives. Emma's hands shook. 24 hours ago, she was invisible. Now strangers were tearing her apart online, and she hadn't done anything wrong. Another text, stay inside. I'm handling it. Handling it, Emma muttered.
How?
She got her answer an hour later. The news interrupted its regular programming. Emma's heart sank. What now? Then she saw him. Adrian Russo stood on the steps of the courthouse, flanked by 2 men in dark suits. Behind him, at least 20 reporters shouted questions, cameras flashing like strobes. He looked different in daylight. Still dangerous but polished. Powerful. Like he owned every brick in the building behind him. Mr. Russo. A reporter pushed forward. Is it true you have connections to the Moretti organization? I have connections to many organizations, Adrian said calmly. I'm a businessman. What's your relationship with Emma Martinez? Ms. Martinez is under my protection. The crowd erupted. Questions flew from every direction. Adrian raised one hand. Silence fell instantly. Last night, I witnessed 3 men harassing and physically assaulting a woman who was working alone. When my son asked me to help, I intervened. The men fled. That's the entire story. His voice was ice. Now they're claiming victimhood through their family's lawyers. Let me be clear. Anyone who threatens Ms. Martinez, harasses her, or attempts to intimidate her will answer directly to me. A reporter found her courage. That sounds like a threat, Mr. Russo. It's a promise. Adrian's smile could have cut glass. Ms. Martinez is a single mother working 2 jobs to support her son. She didn't ask for this attention. She didn't ask for protection. But she has it now, whether anyone likes it or not. Emma's breath caught. How did he know about her son? Are you saying you'll retaliate against these families? Another reporter pressed. I'm saying their son's assaulted an innocent woman. They're now trying to destroy her reputation to cover their actions. I won't allow it. Adrian buttoned his suit jacket. The security footage from the diner will be provided to all major news outlets within the hour. I think the truth will be illuminating. He walked away, his entourage parting the crowd like Moses and the Red Sea. Emma's phone exploded. Texts from coworkers. Calls from reporters who'd somehow gotten her number. Messages from old high school friends she hadn't spoken to in years. And one more text from Adrian. The footage shows everything. You're safe. But stay home today. Tomorrow too. You're still on the diner's payroll. Emma called him. He answered on the first ring. What did you do? She demanded. I told the truth. You just made me famous. Everyone in Chicago knows my name now. Better famous than afraid, Adrian said quietly. Those men would have come back, Emma. Their families would have made your life hell, lawsuit or not. Now they won't dare. Because they're scared of you. Yes. Who are you? Emma whispered. And don't say businessman. Silence stretched between them. I'm someone who keeps my word, Adrian finally said. I told you that you were safe. I meant it. Your son asked you to help someone in a diner. That doesn't mean you have to declare war on people. I don't do anything halfway, Emma. Not when it comes to protecting what's mine. I'm not yours. No, Adrian agreed. But my son likes you. And what my son cares about, I protect. Absolutely. Without compromise. The line went dead. Emma stared at her phone, then at the TV, where they were replaying Adrian's courthouse statement. She's under my protection now. The words echoed through Chicago. Emma Martinez, invisible waitress, had just been claimed by Adrian Russo. And she had no idea what that meant. But judging by the fear in those reporters' eyes, it meant everything. 3 days later, Emma opened her apartment door to find Adrian Russo standing in her hallway. How did you get my address? She asked, blocking the doorway. I own the building. Emma blinked. What? I bought it this morning. Adrian held up a folder. Your lease is now void. I'm moving you to a safer location. You can't just… Emma's voice rose. You can't buy my building. I already did. Your rent is now paid in full for the next year. Better security, better neighborhood. My driver will help you pack. No, Emma crossed her arms. Absolutely not. Adrian's jaw tightened. Those men's families are still angry. Do you know what the Falcone brothers are capable of when they feel disrespected? Then maybe you shouldn't have humiliated them on live television. Would you prefer I let them destroy you quietly? They stared at each other. Emma felt like she was drowning. In 4 days, her entire life had been turned upside down by this man and his cold eyes and his terrifying kindness. Mommy? Emma turned. Her son Danny stood in the doorway, rubbing sleep from his eyes. He was 7, small for his age, with her dark curls and his father's green eyes. Who's that? Danny asked. Adrian's expression shifted.
Softened.
Hello. You must be Danny. How do you know my name? I know your mom. She's a very brave person. Danny looked skeptical. Are you a prince? You dress like a prince, despite everything. Adrian almost smiled.
No.
I'm just a father like yours. I don't have a dad, Danny said matter-of-factly. He left before I was born. But that's okay. Mommy says some people aren't ready to be parents. Emma's heart cracked. Adrian's eyes flickered with something. Understanding? Anger on Danny's behalf. Your mother's right, Adrian said quietly. And his loss is evident. Mr. Russo was just leaving, Emma said firmly. Actually, I brought someone. Adrian gestured down the hallway. Luca wanted to meet Danny. Luca appeared, peeking around Adrian's leg. Hi. Daddy said you like dinosaurs. Danny's face lit up. I love dinosaurs. Do you? Yeah. I have a T-Rex at home that roars.
Cool.
I have a Triceratops. Adrian met Emma's eyes. See what I'm doing?
His look said.
I'm making this harder for you to refuse. Can Danny come over? Luca asked. Please, Daddy? We could play in the game room. You have a game room? Danny breathed. With a PlayStation 5 and everything. Danny looked at Emma with such hope that she wanted to scream. Danny, go get dressed, she said quietly. You can play for an hour. Yes. Both boys cheered. 20 minutes later, Emma sat in the back of Adrian's Mercedes, watching the boys chatter excitedly about video games. They were heading to Adrian's estate, because of course he had an estate. A man sat in the front passenger seat. Older, maybe 50, with silver hair and sharp eyes that hadn't stopped studying Emma since she got in the car. Emma Martinez, the man said. Interesting story. Single mother, 2 jobs, no criminal record. Father unknown, mother deceased. You keep to yourself, he turned to face her. Very convenient. Marco. Adrian's voice held a warning. Convenient for what? Emma asked. For someone wanting to get close to Adrian Russo, Marco smiled, but it wasn't friendly. You're either very unlucky or very clever. I'm a waitress who got grabbed by drunk idiots. That's not clever. That's Chicago. And now you're in Adrian's car. Your son is playing with his son. You're moving into one of his properties, Marco's eyes narrowed. You're in his life. How fortunate for you. Marco is my consigliere, Adrian said. He's paid to be suspicious. I'm paid to keep you alive, Marco corrected. And single mothers with sad stories are classic honeypots. The Morettis would love someone inside your circle, Adrian. Someone innocent. Someone you'd never suspect. Emma's stomach dropped. You think I'm a spy? I think coincidences are rare in our world. Marco, enough. Is it enough? You're making her family, Adrian. You put her under your protection on live television. If she's compromised, she's not. How do you know? Because I watched her face when those men grabbed her. Adrian's voice went cold. That fear was real. The Morettis couldn't have planned this. They didn't know Luca. And I would be there. Maybe. Or maybe she's that good. Emma had heard enough. Stop the car. We're on the highway. I don't care. Stop the car, or I'm calling a Uber. She pulled out her phone. Danny, we're leaving. But Mom.
Now.
Adrian pulled onto the shoulder. Emma unbuckled Danny, ignoring his protests. Emma, don't be foolish, Adrian said. Foolish? Your friend just accused me of being a spy. Danny, come on. I don't want to go. Luca's my friend. We just met him. I don't have friends. Danny's voice cracked. Kids at school say we're poor. They say I don't have a dad. Luca doesn't care. Please, Mommy, please. Emma froze. Danny never talked about school. Never mentioned being bullied. Luca grabbed Danny's hand. You can be my best friend. Right, Daddy? Adrian looked at Emma. 1 hour. Let them play. Then I'll drive you both home. To your current apartment. I won't push the move. And him. Emma glared at Marco. Marco will apologize. I will not. You will. Adrian's tone left no room for argument.
Now.
Marco's jaw worked. Finally. I apologize for implying you're working with our enemies. I'm simply protective of my employer. It wasn't sincere, but Emma was too tired to fight. 1 hour, she agreed. Then we leave. And Adrian? Stop buying my buildings. Stop making decisions for me. I appreciate what you did, but I'm not joining your world. Adrian nodded slowly. Understood. But as they drove toward his estate, Emma saw Luca and Danny laughing together, and her heart sank. Her son had a friend, a real friend. And that friend's father was a man who terrified Chicago. She couldn't take that away from Danny, which meant she was trapped. Exactly as Adrian had planned. Emma returned to work on Monday. She had to. Despite Adrian's offer to pay her rent, she had bills. Danny needed new shoes. She wasn't going to become dependent on a man she barely knew, no matter how much her son liked his son. The morning shift at Rosie's diner started quietly. A few curious customers. Some stares. But mostly, people ordered coffee and eggs and left her alone. Then noon hit. 5 men walked through the door. They wore leather jackets despite the warm weather. Gold chains. Rings on every finger. They spread out, taking up 3 different booths, making it impossible to ignore them. Emma's manager, Sheila, paled. I'll handle them. It's my section. Emma, trust me. Let me. But the men had other plans. Hey! The leader, a man with slicked back hair and a scar across his cheek, snapped his fingers at Emma.
You. Coffee. Now.
Emma grabbed the pot and approached carefully. Something felt wrong. You're the famous Emma Martinez, Scarface said. The waitress with the big, scary protector. The other men laughed. Customers looked nervous. Emma poured coffee with steady hands. Do you want to order food? What we want, another man said loudly, is to know what makes you so special. You're just a waitress. Pretty sure. But Adrian Russo doesn't protect waitresses. He protects his son's friend. Emma said quietly. That's all. That's all. Scarface leaned back. Tommy Moretti wants to know if that's really all. See, word is Adrian's got a new weakness. A pretty little weakness working at a diner. Tommy Moretti. Emma remembered that name. The men who'd grabbed her worked for him. I don't want trouble, Emma said. Too late, sweetheart. You became trouble the second Russo put you on TV. He grabbed her wrist. Not hard, but enough to make a point. You embarrassed Tommy's boys. Made them look weak. Tommy doesn't forget. Let go of me. Or what? You'll call your boyfriend? He released her with a laugh. Go ahead. We're just having coffee. Nothing illegal about that.
But then they started.
Loud conversations about how Adrian was getting soft, how some waitress was distracting him, how maybe she was working with the Morettis after all, playing both sides.
Customers left. Quickly.
One man knocked over a salt shaker.
Oops.
Clean that up, would you? Another spilled his water.
Clamsy me.
They were terrorizing the diner. Not with violence that would bring police, but with presence, with menace, making it clear that nowhere was safe. You think Russo scares us? Scarface called out. This is Moretti territory. Your protector doesn't run this neighborhood. Sheila called the police. They came, looked at the men drinking coffee legally, and left. Call us if they actually do something, the officer said. Emma's hands shook as she wiped down tables. The men stayed for 2 hours, mocking her, laughing, making sure everyone knew that Adrian Russo's protection meant nothing here. Finally, they left. But Emma knew they'd be back. She locked herself in the bathroom and pulled out the card Adrian had given her. Just a phone number. She'd never used it.
She didn't want to use it now. Didn't want to prove she needed him.
But when her shift ended and she walked to her car, 2 of the men were waiting in the parking lot. Going somewhere? One asked. Emma ran back inside. She called the number. Adrian answered immediately. Emma? They're here. Moretti's men. They've been harassing customers all day, and now they're waiting for me outside. I can't get to my car. I can't, her voice broke. I'm 10 minutes away. Lock the doors. Don't let anyone in or out. How did you know I'd call? Because Tommy Moretti is predictable. He's been waiting for an excuse to test me. Adrian's voice was steel. He just made a fatal mistake. Emma locked the diner's door. Sheila stood beside her, wide-eyed. Through the window, they saw more men arrive.
7, 8.
A small crowd forming in the parking lot. Then Adrian's Mercedes appeared. He got out alone. No security. No backup. He walked straight toward the men. Russo. Scarface grinned. Fancy seeing you in our neighborhood. This stopped being your neighborhood the moment you touched what's mine, Adrian said calmly. What's yours? You mean the waitress? The man laughed. She's not your wife. Not your family. She's nobody. She's under my protection. That makes her untouchable. According to who? According to me. The men circled Adrian. 8 against 1. Emma's heart pounded. She reached for her phone to call the police, but Sheila grabbed her hand. Wait, Sheila whispered. Just watch. Adrian moved. It was brutal, efficient,
Terrifying.
He didn't fight like a brawler. He fought like someone trained to end threats permanently. In less than 30 seconds, 3 men were on the ground. The others backed up, reassessing. Scarface pulled a knife. Adrian caught his wrist, twisted, and the knife clattered away. Then he spoke, too quietly for Emma to hear through the glass, but whatever he said made the man's face go white. Adrian released him and raised his voice, so everyone could hear. Emma Martinez's dignity is worth more than your lives. Her safety is equivalent to my empire's power. You come near her, you insult her, you so much as look at her wrong, and I will burn everything Tommy Moretti has built. His clubs, his operations, his family's legacy. I will erase him. The parking lot was silent. Now leave. And tell Tommy I'm coming to see him. Tonight. They ran. Again.
Just like the first night.
Adrian walked to the diner door. Emma unlocked it with trembling hands. You're okay? He asked. You just fought 8 men. I've fought more. He touched her cheek gently. You're safe now. They won't come back. Because you threatened to destroy their boss.
No.
Because I promised it. Adrian's eyes were dark. I don't make threats, Emma. Only promises. And I always keep them. Emma looked at this man who'd turned her life upside down. This man who fought for her because his son asked him to. This terrifying, powerful man who'd just declared her dignity equal to his empire. Thank you, she whispered. Always, Adrian said. And somehow, Emma believed him. The gossip started small. A whispered comment at the grocery store. A sideways glance at Danny's school pickup. But within days, it became a roar. Emma Martinez is Adrian Russo's mistress. The story spread like wildfire. Photos appeared online. Emma getting into Adrian's car. Adrian at the diner. The 2 of them outside her apartment building. Someone had been following them, building a narrative. The headlines were vicious. Mafia boss's new plaything, single mom trades favors for protection. From waitress to mistress. The Emma Martinez story. Emma stopped reading after the first 3 articles. But she couldn't escape them. At Rosie's diner, regulars stopped coming. The morning crowd, her reliable tippers, vanished. New customers would sit down, recognize her, then suddenly remember they had somewhere else to be. Her coworkers were worse. Must be nice, Sarah muttered, wiping down tables. Having a sugar daddy to pay your bills. It's not like that, Emma said for the 100th time.
Right.
He just bought your building out of kindness. Sarah's laugh was bitter. Some of us actually work for our money, Emma. Even Sheila, who'd been supportive, grew distant. Corporate called. They're concerned about the publicity. Maybe you should take some time off. Paid leave. You're firing me? I'm protecting the business. Every day you're here, we lose customers. People don't want to eat where Sheila trailed off. Where the mob boss's whore works. Emma finished coldly. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. Emma walked out. 20 minutes into her shift.
Done.
She sat in her car and cried. Her phone buzzed. A text from Danny's school. We need to discuss Daniel's situation. Please call to arrange a meeting. Her situation. Even Danny's school knew. That night, Emma picked Danny up early. He was quiet in the car, staring out the window. Baby, did something happen at school? Danny shrugged. Too casually. Danny, kids say you're dating a bad man. They say he hurts people. Emma's heart broke. What did you tell them? I said Mr. Russo is nice. That he helped you. But they called me a liar. Danny's voice got small. They said my mom is a bad word. What's a mistress, Mommy? Emma pulled over. She couldn't drive through tears. She held Danny tight, wishing she could shield him from all of this. I'm not dating Mr. Russo, she said firmly. He helped us. That's all. People are being mean because they don't understand. Can we move away? Like, to another city? Emma had thought about it. Every day. Just disappear. Start over somewhere Adrian Russo's shadow didn't reach.
Her phone rang.
Adrian. She almost didn't answer. But Danny saw the name on the screen. It's Mr. Russo. Maybe Luca wants to play. Emma answered. Hi. I saw the news. Adrian's voice was tight. I'm handling it.
How?
By giving another press conference? That worked so well last time. Emma, I lost my job. Danny's being bullied. People think I'm sleeping with you for money. Your protection is destroying my life. Silence. I'm leaving, Emma said. The decision crystallized as she spoke. I'm taking Danny somewhere else. Somewhere your name doesn't mean anything. That's not possible. Watch me. Emma, listen carefully. Adrian's tone changed.
Urgent.
I just received intelligence from Marco. One of the men who attacked you that first night? He wasn't working for the Falcons. He was working for Tommy Moretti directly. Emma's blood went cold. What? It was a setup. Moretti wanted to see how I'd react. He used you as bait, sent his man to that diner knowing Luca and I were regulars. He gambled that I'd intervene. That's insane. That's strategy. You were never random, Emma. You were a test. And now your leverage. Adrian paused. If you run, they'll hunt you. Not to hurt you, to use you against me. They'll find Danny. Use him. Make demands. You're just saying that to keep me here? I'm saying it because it's true. Tommy Moretti doesn't forgive embarrassment. I humiliated him twice, once at the diner, once in his own territory. He needs to hurt me, and the best way to do that is through you. Emma looked at Danny, innocently playing on his tablet. What if I go to the police? And tell them what? That you're caught between 2 crime families? They can't protect you, Emma. They don't have the resources or the will. His voice softened. I know this isn't the life you wanted, but running won't save you. It'll only make you vulnerable. So what, I just stay? Let people call me your mistress? Let my son get bullied. You stay, and I make you untouchable. Really untouchable. Not just protection, immunity. I'm meeting with the other family heads this week. I'm going to make it official. Anyone who touches you, insults you, or harms you in any way violates a direct order from me. That'll just make the rumors worse. The rumors are already as bad as they can get. This makes them irrelevant. Adrian's certainty was absolute. I'm making you family, Emma. Not by blood. Not by marriage. But by decree. My family. That means something in this world. I don't want to be in your world. You're already in it. You were in it the moment those men grabbed you. The question now is, do you survive it alone, or do you let me help? Emma closed her eyes. Every option was terrible. Run and be hunted. Stay and be labeled. There was no clean way out. If I stay, I do it my way, she said finally. I find another job. I take care of Danny myself. I'm not your responsibility. Agreed. But you accept my protection. And what do you get out of this, Adrian? Really? He was quiet for a long moment. My son laughs when he's with Danny. Real laughs. He hasn't done that since his mother died 2 years ago. Adrian's voice roughened. You gave me that. So yes, I'm protecting you. And I'll burn anyone who tries to take it away. Emma had no answer to that. 1 week, Adrian said. Give me 1 week to fix this. Then decide. He hung up. Emma stared at her phone, trapped between a rock and the devil himself. Emma was at the playground with Danny when Adrian called. I need a favor, he said without preamble. I'm not doing favors for her. Luca's nanny called in sick. I have a meeting across town that can't be rescheduled. Can you watch him for 2 hours? Please. Emma heard the please. Adrian Russo didn't say please often.
Fine.
2 hours. My driver will bring him to you. Thank you, Emma. 20 minutes later, a different Mercedes arrived. Not Adrian's usual car. The driver, a young guy Emma hadn't seen before, looked nervous as Luca bounded out. Emma. Luca hugged her. Daddy said we could get ice cream. Did he now? He said you'd say yes. Emma smiled despite herself. 1 scoop. Then playground. The driver cleared his throat. Ma'am, Mr. Russo said to take you to the estate after ice cream. For safety. We're fine at the playground. Ma'am, my orders are from Adrian, not me. We're staying here. Emma softened her tone. We'll be careful. I promise. The driver hesitated, then nodded. I'll be in the car. Call if you need anything. An hour later, Emma sat on a bench watching Danny and Luca chase each other, their laughter bright in the afternoon sun. For a moment, everything felt normal. Then 3 black SUVs screeched into the parking lot. Emma's instinct screamed. She jumped up. Boys, come here. Now. Danny obeyed immediately. But Luca, further away, didn't hear her over his laughter. Men poured from the vehicles. 8, 9, 10 of them, moving with military precision. Emma ran toward Luca. Luca. He turned, confused. She grabbed his hand and pulled him behind the playground equipment. Stay down, she whispered. Don't move. What's happening? Luca's eyes were huge. Where's Daddy? Sure. We're playing hide and seek. Stay very quiet. Danny pressed against her side, trembling. Emma pulled out her phone with shaking hands. Looking for someone? Emma's blood froze. A man stepped around the equipment. Mid-40s, expensive suit, cold smile. Tommy Moretti himself. Emma Martinez. Finally, we meet properly, he glanced at Luca. And little Luca Russo. Your daddy's been very rude to me, son. Don't talk to him, Emma said. Protective. I like that, Tommy gestured, and 2 men moved closer. Here's how this works. You're all coming with us. Nice and quiet. No one gets hurt. You touch these kids. Adrian will kill you. Adrian will negotiate. That's the point, Tommy smiled. You're his weakness now, Emma. You and his boy. He'll give me whatever I want to get you back. Where was the driver? Emma's heart pounded. She glanced toward the parking lot. The Mercedes was empty, driver's door open. They'd gotten to him first. Run. Emma shoved both boys toward the far side of the playground. Run and don't stop. Danny and Luca bolted. 2 men chased them. Emma threw herself at one, clawing, screaming. buying seconds. He backhanded her, and she hit the ground hard. Through blurred vision, she saw a third man grab Luca. The boy fought, kicking, crying for his daddy. Danny punched the man's leg. The man laughed. Emma forced herself up, tasted blood. Let them go. Take me. Just me. We're taking all of you. Then gunshots cracked through the air. Everyone froze. 2 more Mercedes roared into the parking lot, followed by a third car. Adrian's security team poured out, weapons drawn. And Adrian himself stepped from the lead car. Emma had never seen him like this. Pure rage. Controlled, focused, deadly.
Let them
go. Each word was a death sentence. Tommy's men raised their weapons. So did Adrian's. Mexican standoff. 20 guns. 2 families. 3 terrified children in the middle. Tommy still held Luca, using him as a shield. One more step, Russo, and Emma moved. She didn't think, didn't plan. She just launched herself at Tommy, fingernails going for his eyes. He released Luca to defend himself. The boy ran to his father. Adrian caught Luca with one arm and fired with the other. Not at Tommy, at the ground near his feet. A warning. Emma, down. Adrian barked. Emma dropped flat. Adrian's men surged forward, disarming Moretti's crew with brutal efficiency. In seconds, it was over. Tommy Moretti was on his knees, Adrian's gun pressed to his head. You touched my son, Adrian said quietly.
Terribly.
You put your hands on him. Adrian, wait. You threatened Emma. You came for my family. It was business. Just business. Business. Adrian's finger tightened on the trigger. Daddy, don't. Luca's voice cut through everything. Adrian looked at his son, crying, terrified, but safe in his security team's arms. Adrian lowered the gun. You're finished in this city, Tommy.
I own you now.
Every debt, every operation, every dirty secret. You work for me or you disappear. Choose. I choose to live, Tommy whispered. Adrian holstered his weapon and walked to Emma. She was still on the ground, shaking. He knelt beside her. Are you hurt? I'm okay. The boys are safe. Because of you, Adrian helped her up gently. His hands were steady, but his eyes showed his fear. You could have run. Should have run. But you stayed. You protected him. Of course I did. He's just a little boy. Adrian stared at her. Then he did something that shocked everyone watching. He pulled Emma into his arms and held her. Just held her. You're not a bystander, he said into her hair. You're not someone to be protected. You're fierce, Emma Martinez. You're a lioness. Over his shoulder, Emma saw Marco watching. The consigliera who'd called her a spy. He nodded once. Respect. Danny ran to them. Mommy, you were so brave. Luca joined the hug. You saved me, Emma. Like a superhero. Emma's knees gave out. Adrian caught her, supporting her weight. I've got you, he murmured. I've always got you. And for the first time, Emma believed it. Not because Adrian was powerful, but because she'd proven she was powerful too. Adrian's estate became a fortress. After the playground attack, he insisted Emma and Danny stay there. Just until I handled Tommy Moretti permanently, he said. Emma was too exhausted to argue. Now, 3 days later, she sat in Adrian's study while he and Marco interrogated his inner circle. Someone had leaked information. The playground ambush had been too precise. They'd known exactly when and where Luca would be vulnerable. It was the driver, Marco insisted. He's new. Only 3 months with us. The driver was found unconscious, Adrian said coldly. He was knocked out before the attack. Try again. Emma watched from the corner, holding sleeping Luca. The boy hadn't left her side since the playground. He had nightmares every night, waking up screaming. Only Emma could calm him down. Danny was with Adrian's housekeeper, finally relaxed enough to play video games. Someone told Moretti about the scheduled change, Marco continued. Only 5 people knew Luca would be at that playground instead of the estate. The driver, the nanny, me, you, and he glanced at Emma.
Don't, Adrian warned.
She's the newest variable, Adrian. The only person who wasn't vetted. I said don't. Luca stirred in Emma's arms, whimpering. She stroked his hair. Sure, it's okay. You're safe. The boy's eyes opened. Emma? I'm here, sweetheart. The bad man. He knew. Emma's attention sharpened. Knew what, Luca? He knew about the ice cream. He said, Did you enjoy your ice cream, little Russo? Luca's lip trembled. But we didn't get ice cream yet. How did he know Daddy promised me ice cream? The room went silent. Adrian crouched beside them. Luca, that's very important. Did you tell anyone about the ice cream?
No.
Only you told me. On the phone. Before Marcus drove me. Marcus. The driver. But Marcus was unconscious before the attack. Unless. Emma's mind raced. Adrian, who did you call after you called me? Who else knew about the schedule change? I called Marco to let him know. Then I called. Adrian's face went stone. I called Vincent to arrange backup security. Marco's eyes widened. Vincent's been with you for 8 years.
Get him. Now.
10 minutes later, Vincent stood in the study. 40 years old, loyal, one of Adrian's most trusted lieutenants. He looked confused. Boss, you needed me? How did Tommy Moretti know about the ice cream? Adrian asked quietly. What ice cream? The ice cream I promised Luca. Before the playground attack. Only 4 people knew about it. Me, Emma, Marco, and you. Vincent's expression didn't change. I don't know what you're talking about. Luca pressed his face into Emma's shoulder. His whole body tensed. Emma felt it. The fear.
Luca?
What's wrong? The boy whispered something. Too quiet to hear. Emma bent closer. Say it again, baby. His voice. Luca breathed. It sounds like the phone man. What phone man? At the playground. One of the bad men was on the phone. He said, the ice cream worked. They're here, he sounded like. Like him, Luca pointed at Vincent. Vincent's face finally cracked. For just a second. Then he laughed. The kid's traumatized.
He's confused.
I would never. Marco, Adrian said. Check Vincent's phone records.
Now.
Adrian, come on. 8 years. I've been loyal. Then you have nothing to hide. Marco pulled out his laptop, fingers flying. He had access to everything. Company phones were monitored for security. His face went dark. 17 calls to a burner number. All within the last month. The last one was, he looked up. 15 minutes before the playground attack. Vincent ran for the door. Adrian moved faster. He slammed Vincent into the wall, forearm across his throat. Why? Money, Vincent choked out. Moretti offered me $2 million. $2 million, Adrian. More than I'd ever see working for you. I trusted you with my son. Your son is fine. The plan was just to grab him, make you negotiate, then return him. No one was supposed to get hurt. Adrian's voice dropped to a whisper. But Emma could have been killed. My son could have been traumatized for life. All for money. It was business. No, Adrian tightened his grip. Business is what I'm about to do. Wait, Adrian, please, we can work this out. Emma turned Luca's face away. The boy didn't need to see this. Marco, call the others, Adrian said. Every family head in Chicago. Tell them we're having a meeting. Tonight. At the warehouse. The warehouse. Emma had heard whispers about it. Where the families handled internal problems. Where justice was swift and brutal. Vincent's face went white. Adrian, I'm begging you. You betrayed my trust. Endangered my son. And Emma, Adrian released him to Marco's custody. You get the same mercy you showed them. None. As Marco dragged Vincent away, Luca started crying. I'm sorry, Daddy. I should have remembered his voice sooner. No, Adrian took his son, holding him close. You were perfect.
So brave.
You helped us find the bad man. Emma helped.
Luca said. She listened when I was scared to talk loud. Adrian looked at Emma. She's good at that. Later, after Luca finally fell asleep, Adrian found Emma on the terrace. You didn't have to send him to the warehouse, Emma said quietly. You could have just fired him. He endangered you. Both of you. Adrian stood beside her. There are rules in my world, Emma. Break them and there are consequences. Vincent knew that. Will he die? The family heads will decide. But yes. Probably. Emma should have felt horror. Should have protested. But all she felt was relief. That threat was gone. Her son was safe. Luca was safe. Does that make me a bad person? She whispered. That I'm okay with it. It makes you a mother. A protector. Adrian touched her hand. You've changed, Emma. When we met, you would have run from all of this. I tried to run. You wouldn't let me. And now. Emma looked at their hands, when Hattie started holding hers. Now I think you were right, she admitted. Running wouldn't have saved us. It would have just made us easier targets. Adrian's thumb traced circles on her palm. My world is dark, violent, unforgiving. But it's the only world where I can keep you truly safe. I know. And you're staying? Emma thought of Luca's nightmares, of Danny's laughter with his new best friend, of the way Adrian looked at her, not like a possession, but like someone precious. I'm staying, she said. Adrian raised her hand and kissed it. Then let me make it official. The meeting room in Adrian's estate was packed. Emma had never seen so many dangerous men in one place. 20 family heads, 50 lieutenants, enforcers lining the walls. This was Chicago's underworld, all of it gathered under one roof. And she was standing at Adrian's side. You didn't tell me there'd be this many people, Emma whispered. I wanted you to say yes first. Adrian's hand rested at the small of her back. Protective, possessive. Too late to run now. Marco stood at the podium. Gentlemen, you know why we're here. Vincent Calabrese betrayed the Russo family. He sold information to the Morettas. He endangered Adrian's son. Murmurs rippled through the room. Betrayal was the ultimate sin. The family heads have voted, Marco continued. Vincent will be handled according to our laws. But that's not why we're all here tonight. He stepped aside. Adrian moved to the podium, bringing Emma with him. She felt hundreds of eyes on her, judging, calculating, wondering why a waitress stood beside their most powerful boss. Most of you know Emma Martinez, Adrian began. His voice carried absolute authority. You've seen her in the news, heard the rumors. Some of you think she's a weakness, a distraction. Emma's heart pounded. Where was he going with this? 3 weeks ago, my son asked me to help her. I did. I thought that would be the end of it. Adrian's hand tightened on her waist. I was wrong. Emma became part of our lives. My son bonded with her son. And when Tommy Moretti sent men to kidnap Luca, Emma didn't run. She didn't freeze. She fought. She protected my boy like he was her own. The room was silent, listening. She threw herself at armed men. She created the opening my team needed. She risked her life. Adrian's voice roughened. Emma Martinez has more courage than half the soldiers in this room. And she's not even one of us. He paused, letting that sink in. But she will be. Starting tonight. Emma's breath caught. Adrian turned to face her, speaking to her and the room simultaneously. Emma, I'm making you family. Not by blood. Not by marriage. By choice. By decree. His eyes held hers. You and Danny are under the protection of the Russo family. Permanently. Harm them, insult them, threaten them, and you answer to me personally. Their safety is my priority. Their dignity is my concern. They are mine to protect. Adrian, Emma whispered. This is everything. He faced the room again. Let me be clear. Emma Martinez is not my mistress. She's not my employee. She's family. That means she ranks above most of you. If she asks for something, you provide it. If she needs help, you give it. If anyone inside or outside this organization disrespects her,
You report it to me immediately. One of the older family had stood. Russo, with respect, making outsiders family isn't how we operate. I don't recall asking for your permission, Carmine. Adrian's tone could have frozen fire. I'm informing you of a fact. Emma is family now. Accept it or leave Chicago. Those are your options. Carmine sat down. She's also different from us, Adrian continued. Emma has a moral compass. A conscience. She'll tell me when I'm wrong. Something none of you have the courage to do, he almost smiled. She'll keep me human. Keep my son human. That's worth more than any soldier's loyalty. Marco stepped forward, holding a velvet box. He opened it, revealing a pendant, a silver medallion with the Russo family crest. Adrian took it, turning to Emma. This is our symbol. Wear it, and every family in Chicago will know you're protected. Every cop, every judge, every business owner. You'll have access to resources, security, whatever you need. Emma stared at the pendant. It was beautiful and terrifying. If I take this, she said quietly, there's no going back. No, Adrian agreed. You'll always be connected to my world. To danger, to darkness, but also to safety. To family, Emma looked at the room full of dangerous men. Then at Adrian. To people who will protect my son. Always. Emma thought of Danny upstairs, playing with Luca. Best friends. Brothers in everything but blood. She thought of the peace she'd felt these past 3 days. No fear, no looking over her shoulder, no wondering if they'd be safe. She thought of Luca whispering, I love you, Emma, when she tucked him in last night. And she thought of Adrian, this complicated, violent, surprisingly gentle man who'd changed everything. Okay, she said. I'm in. Adrian placed the pendant around her neck. His fingers brushed her skin, sending shivers down her spine. Then he turned to the room. Emma Martinez is now family. This is not a request. This is not negotiable. Anyone who questions it answers to me. Understood? Understood, the room echoed. Good. We're done here. As the men filed out, Marco approached Emma. I was wrong about you. I apologize. You were protecting him. I get it. You're good for him. For Luca, Marco actually smiled. Welcome to the family, Emma. Later, Emma found Adrian in Luca's room. Both boys were asleep in the bed, Danny curled against Luca like puppies. They're inseparable, Adrian murmured. Like brothers. Like family. Adrian put his arm around her shoulders. Thank you. For what? For staying. For being brave. For loving my son, he kissed her forehead. For giving us a family again. Emma leaned into him, feeling the pendant's weight against her chest. She'd walked into Rosie's diner 3 weeks ago as a struggling single mom. Tonight, she stood in a Mafia boss's estate, wearing his family crest, with his son sleeping peacefully because she was there. She should have been terrified. Instead, she felt safe. Protected. Home. Daddy. Luca's sleepy voice broke the silence. Is Emma staying forever? Adrian looked at Emma. The question hung between them. Emma smiled. Yes, sweetheart. I'm staying. Good. Luca yawned. You're my other mom now. And in that moment, Emma realized it was true. She wasn't just protected anymore. She was family.